Hey everybody, in this video we will see how to install and configure the Universal Forwarder. First you go to setting and click on forward and receiving, and you have a configure receiving option. You have to click on that, and now you have to create the new receiving port. Alright, when you click on new receiving port, the default port for Universal Forwarder is, we all know it is 9997, right? You have to give that as a defaulting port, because you need to give that port to configure the receiving for a forwarder. I'm giving 9997 and save the option. Now let's install Universal Forwarder in a source system, right? We are basically installing the Universal Forwarder in the Linux environment. We will actually do in both Windows and Linux, but in this video I will show you how to do it in Windows. Okay, we'll start that. Now you need to go to this URL. You can see the this URL splunk.com en _us download universal forwarder.html, right? Or you can just go to Google and search for the Universal Forwarder. These two ways that you can do that. Once you log in into Splunk account, now we already have this Splunk account for us, right? What you have to do, you have to log in with that account and then go to installation or download option. You select, we are doing it for Linux, right? I will select .tgz file here. Okay, you can select any of this, but I will be going with the tgz file. Click on download the Linux. I will connect I will cancel the download here, okay, because we know, right, I want to use wget. It will paste that in the Linux distribution. Okay, when I click on the download, okay, it will start downloading for me, but I will not continue with the download because I want to use wget command. So I will cancel the download, and and then I will be continuing with my installation. Okay, let me take that. There you go. And now I will be pasting it here. Type sudo. Okay, initially when we starting with the Linux, you have to type sudo user, and you have to paste the wget command. It will start downloading, right? So let me do that. I will give sudo, and then I will paste that link. Okay, as usual, the process we will be following from here. Okay, so the command, the key which I have copied, I have pasted here, and now I'm continuing with the process. Now the basic, one more thing we all know, right? If you want to unzip any file, what the command will be using, it will be tar-xvf. Okay, so whichever the file you have taken, it is a zipped file, you have to unzip that, right? For that you will do tar-xvzf. That is, there are couple of commands, right? Standard commands, even if it is for Splunk installation, or if you are doing for Universal Forwarder installation, for any of these you will be forwarding the same thing. Okay, let me do the tar-xvz. We are unzipping the file now. Now change the directory. We can just do ls once the file is unzipped. To check all of them, let's do ls and check the file. Now we can going to start the Splunk by going to the bin folder here. Okay, so you all know all the if you want to the start of Splunk will be doing by going into the bin folder. Okay, you have to go to bin folder as usual. This is the same process we already spoke about Splunk installation in one of my videos. You can refer that Splunk installation video. Now here I am going to cd forwarder, and then continuing with the process. And here at the end, what we have to do as the process of installation, to start Splunk, accept license. Okay, we need to accept the license. There is a command to accept the license also. I am sure you all know that, because I had already explained this in my previous video, which I installed, which I have done for Splunk installation, right? So the similar thing we will be doing it. Okay, every time when you install, every time you are installing the Splunk or Universal Forwarder, you have to give this command. Okay, accept license, right? And then You have to enable boot start also. Why? Because for example, let's say if the server down, Splunk will not start, okay, unless you write this command. You have to give boot start every time whenever you install any server. As per the process, we will be giving the boot start command, because if the server goes down, Splunk will also goes down, right? If the server comes up again, Splunk will not start automatically unless you write this command, okay? So that is why you have to write this command, which is very, very important, okay? So as per the process, I will be writing that command. I hope you understood why I am writing that sort of command, right? And this is what basically the installation of my this one forwarder, right? Next thing we need to do universal forwarder. To write this, we write this command actually. So let me do that. Remember, in our Splunk system we configure receiving 9997 port, okay? We configure the receiving 9997 port initially, and then we are continuing with the process, okay? So just give me 1 minute. Okay, it is taking some time. Okay, I have given the boot start command, as I said, to start the Splunk along with the server. This is the process that we will be following for every installation, though it is a Splunk or though it is a universal forwarder. We are following the same process, okay? Yeah. And now what I will do is I will be going into the next step as far in this process, right? Remember, as I said, in our Splunk system we configure receiving 9997 port, right? So so we need to configure our IP address, can be found by doing IP configure search head, okay? We need to do that ifconfig, right? You need to go to ifconfig, to get the search head installation next, okay? So let me do that. You can see the search head here, okay? Seeing these two windows side by side, okay? Green one is a search head for us. With ifconfig, we see that particular IP address here, 192.168.121.122, right? That's why we are configuring our forwarder to configure that IP address, okay? Now we have our forwarder setup, and it's forwarding the data now, but it doesn't know what to forward, right? We have the forwarder, but it doesn't know what to forward, what data we want to forward to our Splunk search head. So to tell that, we are doing need to go to add monitor. We have to add the monitor here. Remember, this is the very important step, okay? After doing that, now we need to add monitor, the var log directory, okay? In the var log directory we will be adding the monitor, right? So write this command to add, okay? See the command that you will be writing, okay? If you want, you can monitor multiple servers, okay? Here I am not doing it, I'm just going with only one thing, okay? So as per your requirement, if you want to go, you can go with more, okay? This step is really important, okay? We installed universal forwarder, and we also have the search head, and after that we have the forwarder setup, right? It is forwarding the data now, okay? After we do all the process, it is forwarding the data now, but you doesn't know what to forward, what kind of data to forward, right? That is why we are doing that. What data we want to forward to our Splunk search head, okay? It is not aware of it. That is why I'm going monitor var log, okay? After, as usual, we'll be going to sudo and then Splunk add monitor var log, right? So that is the reason I'm writing that. We need to restart this forwarder, so all the changes to be affected every time. Again, whenever you do any configuration changes or any installations that you have done, right? Generally what we do, we will be restarting the server, right? Splunk restart, okay? All these changes will be taking effect if you restart the server, okay? Once restart, go to our Splunk search head, Okay, check if the data is coming in or not. Okay, so once it is done, you have to go to search it and check if data is coming or not. You can check here, go to the search and receiving app, click data summary. Okay, once you click on, there you see the forwarder data from. Okay, you see all the data. Okay, once you click on data summary, you see all the data. Okay, see that forwarder data from. Okay, this is the forwarder which is the data coming from, right? You see all these data. You can see Verilog everywhere. You can see here, right? Verilog introspector, Verilog. Okay, so we successfully done it in the Linux. All right, I hope this video will help you. Thanks for watching.